Okay, we got to talk about this shoe. We have to talk about this, whatever you want to call these. A clog, a mule, a slide, a sneaker. People these are reselling like a sneaker. And I might be the only one that feels like this. That's kind of the reason why I'm making this video, because I want to know if anyone else feels the same way I do. So this is the Nike Reactx Rejuven8. And I don't love them. So I've had these since the first week that they released. I was on the Nike site, they were just sitting there. And I was like, you know what? Those might be comfortable. That might be a cool clog, because I had just gotten the Nike ACG Rufus that I think is awesome. I wear them all the time. They're extremely comfortable. I was thinking, okay, maybe Nike's on a little bit of a roll here, because I do think that they could stand to expand their product portfolio as far as just the leisure slip-on shoes go. I really think Nike doesn't tap into this lane as much as they should, because there is so much potential there. And really what gets me about these the most is, like I said, there's a lot of potential there, and Nike could drop something totally new, something that other brands would be chasing, but instead, this feels like they are chasing them. But let me get into why I don't like these that much. So we have Reactx cushioning in here, and that is what sold me in the first place, because these are awesome, the Pegasus Premium, and they have Reactx in there, super comfortable. This is a great product. Like, this is one of my favorite shoes from Nike at the moment, and don't think I'm just trashing on them. Like, this is something odd for me to be critiquing and feel a way about, but you know, it's also so easy. Slides are so easy, and I feel like the Calm Mule and Slide is pretty decent. That is something that is okay for the middle of the road, but give us a really good pair. In my opinion, this isn't it, and here's why. So for one, it doesn't even feel like Nike footwear. I unboxed them, which they didn't even need to be in a box. It's a pair of slides. This is so casual. We don't need a box. So instead of the $70 price point that these are at, save the box, send them with just a tag on them, and cut down the price to whatever that would shave off. Even if it shaves off $2. I'd rather pay $68 for these with no box than $70 with the box. So I take them out of the packaging, and I can't unsee this. They look like an old hockey mask. They look like the Jason mask, and I cannot unsee that. And I just don't get why it has these holes for ventilation, obviously, so that your feet can breathe. That's cool. But the way that they did it, I feel like it could have been so much better, because medially, look at these. Medially, they look pretty cool. Like, I like it. The simple Nike swoosh that you can hardly see, it flows with these linear lines here. But then from the top, you get these holes that you would see on a pair of clogs, where instead these should have been something that played into the lines here. And then on the lateral side, the Nike swoosh is metallic and reflective to a degree, and it looks like it's just been slapped on there. Like, imagine there's no Nike swoosh here and you just saw these, you'd be like, okay, what brand is that? I have no clue. So how about the fit? Well, in case you didn't notice from that top-down look, these things are as wide as a pancake. They are so wide. And to give you a comparison here, I've got my Birks, which are probably the widest piece of footwear that I own, and these are wider than the Birks. So let me try to match these up, but you can just see that the Nikes are definitely wider than the Birks. And the first time that I put the Birks on and looked down, I was like, wow, those things are like a Mack truck. But if you have a wide foot, or even somewhat of a wide foot, that may be a good thing. So width-wise, my feet actually fit, but length-wise, they do not. So I put them on and I'm like, all right, this is crazy. My toes are at the top. Width-wise, I've got plenty of room. Like, I could put these things on and stretch my elbows out, and I'd be fine in here. Like, these things are why? So nowadays, Nikes run small. In my opinion, they definitely run smaller than they used to, and that's a fact. I have older Nikes and Jordans that fit my feet well, and the newer ones are more snug. So to offset that, I go a half size up, which can be annoying, but so I'm like, okay, let me go and get a 12.5 in these because I'm wearing a 12 nowadays. Nope. They don't make half sizes. That means I have to go up to a 13. I don't own any shoes in a 13. And all of a sudden, I'm gonna go buy the widest piece of footwear, appearance-wise, in the biggest size that I've ever worn. Not happening. They would look like sewer caps on my feet if I was to wear a size 13 in these. But there are some things that I do like about them. You essentially get an outsole on here. It's kind of hard to see, but the outsole has a little bit of a traction pattern to it, and it looks like it's a little bit separated from the upper. So there's more stability there on the sole than there is on the foam up top. And then that Reactx is comfortable. It does feel nice on feet. So it is not all bad with these. And again, I am probably on my own with the feeling about these. They're reselling. They are one of the most popular items on StockX right now. And that just says a lot more about the market than anything else, in my opinion. People are hungry for an affordable footwear option that is cool. And this style has been on trend for the past 4 or 5 years. So let me know your thoughts on the Nike Reactx Rejuven8. Do you have a pair? Do you like them? Do they fit your feet well? Let me know down in the comment section. It's an interesting shoe. I like the way that they look on the medial side. I do not like this Jason mask, and I do not like this Nike stamp just slapped on here, and I do not like the way that they fit. I would love to see Nike just do better in this category. I'm having fun. I'm being a little bit critical, but obviously I am a huge Nike fan. Look around this channel, you'll see that. I appreciate you guys. That's it for me though. Check out some of my other videos. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.